I'm Hayley.
I'm Jordan.
And this is our final assignment for conflict resolution, and it's over Chapter 8, Interpersonal Negotiation. And to begin, we will start with the introduction of concepts as cited by Wilmot and Hawker, 2011.
Negotiation simply means to settle by discussion or mutual agreement.
Negotiation occurs in conflict resolution when the parties recognize their interdependence, are willing to work on both incompatible and overlapping goals, and have been able to establish a power balance that they can talk to each other in a problem-solving way.
Negotiation is an active phase of conflict resolution where people generate brainstorming ideas, give and take, and attempt to meet mutual goals.
Negotiation involves active engagement, not avoidance.
There are 7 elements of principled negotiation. The first one is to attend to the relationship. This includes building a good relationship, working side by side, and separating the people and relationship from the problem that needs to be negotiated.
The second element is to attend to all elements of communication. Work to build the positive two-way communication and avoid telling each other what to do. Be aware of each other's feelings and show that you are trustworthy and express your appreciation and respect.
The third step is to focus on interests and not positions. So you should disclose actual concerns and interests, not the bottom line positions, and and our positions come from our interests. By discussing our interests, we're more likely to come to a mutual agreement. Firm flexibility is a key component of this because it allows you to remain firm about your goals but flexible regarding how you reach them.
Next is to generate many options. When negotiation begins to look like a win-lose or zero-sum game, explore many options by brainstorming and using your creativity. Each option should include the interests of the other. When good decisions or options are generated, there's not only a sense of relief, but a sense of excitement.
The fifth step is to find legitimate criteria. So you should try to discern whether the outcome is fair, just, reasonable, and respects the interests of each party. Develop objective criteria by using fair procedures and balancing power in the process of seeking fair standards.
The sixth element is to analyze the best alternative to the negotiated agreement. This is to consider walkaway alternatives for yourself as well as the other, and recognize any agreement must be better for everyone involved than to simply walk away from the situation.
And the last step is to work with fair and realistic commitments. Decide whether what you and the other party are asking is reasonable, doable, face-saving, practical, and will enhance the working relationship. If someone is forced into an unrealistic commitment to possibly just get to the problem solved temporarily, this may lead to the conflict going underground and having to be revisited later.
So, to begin, our background story is Jordan and Hayley are friends who run a lemonade stand. Hayley cuts and squeezes the lemons for the lemonade. Jordan mixes up the lemonade and prepares the pitchers and pours the cups of lemonade. Hayley and Jordan together work at the stand and sell the lemonade they make. They split all the profit down the middle to be fair, but Hayley feels what she does in the lemonade business is harder and wants a raise. Now Jordan and Hayley must negotiate this conflict. So, to begin. Jordan, we have been friends for a long time, and we've always been able to get along well.
Yeah, we have a really good relationship, we've always had one since the beginning of our friendship.
I really don't want this conflict of me wanting a raise to come in between us and ruin our relationship.
Don't worry, it won't. You wanting a raise is about the business and has nothing to do with our personal relationship.
I am more than willing to talk through this conflict and figure something out.
So am I. I understand where you're coming from wanting a raise. Cutting and squeezing the lemons is really hard work.
Trust me, it really is hard, and I wouldn't be bringing it up if I didn't believe it. And I should be making more for what I'm doing.
I do trust you, and we can communicate through this conflict to find a solution.
I want us to have a fair business, but I feel my responsibilities should earn me more. And, I could really use the money for that new bike I've been saving for.
Well, I feel like I work hard too, and there's new things that I'm saving up for too.
If this lemonade stand business is going to continue, something needs to change so we can both be satisfied.
Maybe we should reevaluate our positions in the business.
So we know we both would like to make the same amount of money, and we both want to continue in our business.
So our problem is the amount of work we are each doing for the business.
Well, my position is a little harder than yours, so maybe you could do some of my work?
Or we could take turns in our positions for the lemonade stand.
That would be a good idea.
So one day I can cut and squeeze the lemons, and you prepare the lemonade pitchers and cups.
Yeah, then we can just switch positions the next day.
I think this is a good option for us, and we should really consider it.
Even though it doesn't give me a raise, it would make our working positions more equal, and I could handle that easily and be happy without a raise.
Balancing our amount of work in the lemonade stand is a legitimate solution for us, and I can't wait to try it out.
But what if it doesn't work out? What if I'm still not happy, or the solution causes you to be unhappy?
Well, let's try this idea first, because just in our discussion on it, it already seems like a great plan.
You're right. And if we still want to make more money in the end, it's a possible alternative for us to raise the cost of our lemonade to do so. If that doesn't work, then we can go back to the drawing board.
I'm really committed to this solution to our conflict, and I feel it's completely reasonable.
I agree with you. Switching positions in the business daily is doable and will most likely enhance our working relationship.
So now that we are both happy with our negotiated plan, what do you want to do?
Let's go enjoy some of our awesome lemonade.
Sounds great.
So now that you've seen our skit, we are going to go over and summarize the concepts that we covered following the skit, which would be the 7 elements of principal negotiation. So the first was to attend to the relationship. In the beginning of the situation, Jordan and Hayley were sure to communicate about their friendship and how it had nothing to do with the conflict at hand. They realized they had a good relationship and they wouldn't let the conflict come in between them.
The second was to attend to all elements of communication. They then decided to have an open, two-way communication and express their trust for one another. Jordan and Hayley have agreed to work side by side to negotiate this conflict.
Next is to focus on the interests, not positions. Neither is set in one position in the conflict, and they decide to vocalize their interests, such as Hayley needing to make more money for a bike and Jordan needing more money for her personal things as well. By expressing their interests, everything is out on the table and is open to execute a solution. Knowing one another's interests will lead them to reevaluating their positions in the business.
The fourth step was to generate many options. Hayley's idea is for Jordan to do some of her work. Jordan's idea is to take turns in one another's position to make sure they are each doing a fair amount of work. Therefore, they did generate options for the conflict in order to work towards a solution. There is definitely a sense of relief and excitement by both parties once they decide to share the work positions equally.
Next is to find the legitimate criteria. Their criterion determines this to be the best solution for them at the time, and they decide balancing the work will make for a better work environment for each other. In the end, Jordan and Hayley create more equality in the workplace.
The sixth step is to analyze the best alternative to the negotiated agreement. Jordan and Hayley create alternatives in the situation, such as increasing the cost of their lemonade if the new solution does not resolve Hayley's need for higher wages based upon the equality of work. If that solution does not work, they are still completely open to other ideas.
And the final element would be work with fair and realistic commitments. In the end, Jordan and Hayley come up with a solution that will satisfy both of them and is completely fair and realistic. Now they can both be committed to the new solution and see more happiness in the business.